I once heard a false teacher on YouTube say, if it makes you feel bad, that's not from God. And that is the definition of a false teacher. The Bible is so explicit about what to beware of in these latter days, and about those who would come to tickle the itching ears and tell you everything they wanted to hear, vanities out of the delusions of their own minds and hearts. We all know that sometimes conviction doesn't feel so good, because no one likes to be told you're doing it wrong or there's a better way. But this is love. God chastises those whom he loves. You know, those messages that are all la la la, there's a difference between a message of encouragement.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left.
A message that is just there to feed your flesh and tell you what you want to hear. There's a difference between those types of messages. And one edifies the soul and one is catering to your flesh. One draws you nearer to the Lord and one draws you nearer to the world. And that is a big difference. And no, the messages that God gives aren't always going to feel the best. Conviction doesn't always make us feel the best, but obedience is not about our feelings. You know, the Lord is constantly trying to work on us. He's constantly and consistently teaching us. And it's just that some are more willing to receive that. Some are more willing to participate in the process of maturation and perfection than are others. And he's patient there and he's graceful there. But to say or to believe that God will never give a message that doesn't exactly make you feel like puppies and rainbows is just, it's unbiblical. It's not true, because we're fallible. You know, we make mistakes. Sometimes we go the wrong way. And in his love and mercy, he will send voices to say, hey, turn back the other way. And no, again, that's not always going to make us feel good, especially when we've invested time going one way. We've invested, you know, so much energy and effort going in one direction. And God's like, actually, that's not the way I wanted you to go. I told you that, but you didn't listen. Like, this is your last chance. Turn back. No, that does not feel good. But we must receive his correction. We must test the spirit of these messages, because the Lord is speaking. And you know what? So are Satan's prophets. So are the voices. So is the enemy speaking. And he's trying to teach us to be able to discern the voices. Does the message draw you nearer to the Lord? Does it edify you in the things of the word? Are you learning and growing in faith through these messages? Or are they just pleasuring you? Are they just telling you what you want to hear? I'm telling you now, if you're waiting on a blessing or a promise from the Lord that hasn't come to pass, even in that waiting, there will be him and there will be his joy. If you're feeling frustrated and these messages are making you anxious, these are not messages from God. Even if they tell you, oh yeah, the great thing is here, the great thing. Listen, we're all in different seasons. We're all in different seasons, and you're exactly where the Lord wants you to be. So if someone is contradicting where you are, and you know you're following the Lord, you know, if you're living in willing sin, no, turn back, repent, turn back to the Lord. But if you know that you're following the Lord and you're in a season of waiting, don't listen to the messages that are making your heart sick, because of hope deferred makes the heart sick. That's what the word says. Don't listen to messages from people that are leading you astray, because you're supposed to be in a season of waiting sometimes for a reason, and you must find the joy in that season. You can't be anxious and cranky with the Lord because you're waiting. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. And when the good thing comes, he will not keep it from you. He withholds no good thing from those who love him. He will give you the good thing. You won't have to go search out a message to say, here are your blessings here. You will see it with your eyes. It will come to pass. So trust in the Lord. Do not trust in men. Certainly don't trust in these false teachers. You know, they are, of course, these are going to be very, especially going forward, very popular messages. But you know what? Not everyone wanted to hear what Jesus Christ had to say. We know that. Not everyone followed him. We know that. Such is the same today, as he speaks through his prophets, as he speaks through his believers. as he prophesies over his sons and daughters who are claiming his true biblical word. You must test the spirit. Not every message is going to be exactly pleasing to your flesh. Not everything, again, is going to be all, sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes he has to correct us because he loves us. He's a loving father, and we are not perfect, and we are not always doing the right thing. And every season isn't blessing. We're here to put others before ourselves, and sometimes we need to humble ourselves. And when we don't, he'll send voices to say, hey, check that pride. Hey, this isn't all about you. Hey, don't forget my glory. Hey, you're here for me. It's a beautiful walk that we walk. It's a beautiful life we live. But remember what you're here for. Remember who you belong to. Remember whose voice that you need to be listening to. God bless you.